Hey, you know what I like about this dress? Is if I just pull this, I can see your, whoops, oh, we're filming. Tubers, Tibets, crazy people. Me and the wifey are going to talk about monthly allowances and supporting the family. We want to go over this because it's been a topic that we've discussed amongst ourselves forever and a day, and I don't think we've ever gone into it in depth here on the channel. So we have definite opinions on whether or not you should give your wife, your significant other, or the family financial support. So if you'd like to hear our spin on it, how we do it in our household, and how we've observed other people handle this topic, stay tuned. And here comes our goofy little video. Alrighty, so we're going to tackle a topic that we just did on her channel about a month ago, I think.
Yes.
And you'd brought this topic up. It was the allowances for girlfriends. And the reason that came up is because I came home and I'd been talking to a friend and mentioned that he was giving her an allowance. And you kind of had that face on you.
Yeah. I said, for what allowance? She's working? For working for what?
I know her really well, so I'll tell her something and she makes a face and I go, oh, here comes the judgment day. So, yeah, that's interesting because I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. I don't like the word allowance because it sounds like you're dealing with a little kid and you're giving them lunch money.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a grown woman here. However, and there's circumstances where I think you do need to supplement income if you've taken it away. But we'll spend a few minutes and talk about our situation. So when I met you, you were working.
Yeah, I working in catering.
You were working in catering.
Yes.
And you worked how many hours?
I beginning for 7 a.m. and the end for 11 p.m.
11 p.m.
Yes.
And you did that with your sister.
Yes.
And you stayed in her boarding house.
Yeah.
So you guys lived together.
Yes.
And you did that for the full 6 or 7 months, whatever it was that we were dating.
Yeah.
Before you moved in with me.
Yes.
And how much did you make?
200.
200 only? I thought
Yeah.
it was 3.
If you have a tip.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So if you got tipped, you'd make an extra 100. But the
Yes.
salary was only 200.
Yes.
Well, that was way back in the day, so I guess things were different back then anyway. Because the minimum wage now, I think, is 400. But anyway, okay. So you'd make 200 or 300, and that would be a more than 12-hour day. Were you dead tired?
Of course, very tired that time. I'm carrying for the table.
Yeah.
And bottled water.
Yeah.
Mineral.
For those that don't know what the catering business is out here, is if you have a party or a get-together or a fiesta, they bring big truck and there's multiple people and they set up tables and cloth and chairs and they bring food and then it's up to you to put the plates and the forks and the knives and the water glasses out and then the people get their food and then you clean up the food afterward and you wash it and it's a constantly and then for the most part you just have to sit there and watch them until the thing's over with. And some guys would be over with at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening and that would be cool because, you know, it was a 12-hour day but still you were done. But I remember you told me that you were at one little catered event and 3 or 4 guys just sat around till midnight and drank.
Yes.
And they didn't give you a tip.
No.
But you had to sit there the whole time. You and everybody else had to sit there and wait for these guys to finish their cocktails.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off track. Allowances. So you can't figure out, and it's logically to me and logical to you, that since I take care of the overhead here, I pay the rent, the food, the this, the that, the other, medicine, you name it. You don't need like a set amount every month.
No.
So, but as the month goes by, I do give you money. And now you're at a point for the last few years where you've had your own money again.
Yeah.
You just changed jobs. You just did YouTube.
Yes.
And you love YouTube.
I love YouTube.
And you hated catering. I don't blame you. But the money from the YouTube you set aside And a lot of times, you'll just take that out and use it, and like your braces.
Yes, my
Okay,
braces.
she bought braces. You got
Yeah.
braces,
Yes.
and I said, "I'll pay for those," and she said, "No, I'll
Yeah.
pay for them." And I said, "Well, all right, girl, whatever you want to do." But there's circumstances with parents now. So your entire life, while you were working, you and your sisters, your other sisters, have supported your parents.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you supported your sisters, or you were supporting somebody
Yeah.
along the line. And I'll never forget the story where May and I were sitting on the couch years ago, and she had shown me her little passbook savings account.
Yeah.
You had 30,000 pesos in
Yeah.
that puppy. And that was quite an accomplishment over putting away 50 pesos here. I looked at it, I was so impressed because you would put away like 27 pesos. It was whatever you had left over, you would save.
Yeah.
You wouldn't squander it on something silly. Maybe you'd go buy a Coke or something once in a while because you worked in Manila and then you worked, with your
Catering.
sister and the catering. And you've never once come to me with any kind of crisis or big problem with your family. And they've happened, and I haven't even known about them. I think Riza is a good example. Your sister Riza was married and her husband died.
Yeah.
That's when we first met.
Yeah.
He died of cancer.
Yeah, the cancer.
And your 30,000 pesos vanished from your passbook savings account. And I didn't find out about it till a month later because I asked her, because she'd shown me her passbook savings and we were sharing information. She never asked me how much I got, but she was real proud to show me that 30,000. And then I was kidding around with her one day and I said, "Hey, I need to borrow that 30 grand. I got a problem. I need to make the rent." It was just me being sarcastic. And she looked at me and said, "That's serious?" And she goes, "Oh, I don't have that anymore. I gave it to my sister." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, her husband died and he needed to have a funeral." And I said, "Well, when did that happen?" She said, "A month ago."
Yeah.
Now, why didn't you tell me?
Because it's not your the problem, so I would like to help to my sister on my money.
So you didn't think your family problems should be my problems. It was just between you and I that we were dealing. And I offered to replace it. She said no. And since then, though, I've told you, let me know if there's an issue. And so we've paid for 2 funerals since
Yeah,
then.
my grandma.
Your grandma and someone else, I forget who.
Jing, husband too. He's
Oh, yeah,
dead.
that's right.
Yeah,
Jing,
cancer too.
another sister, husband, she had 2 sisters.
Yeah.
And both husbands died of cancer.
Same
which is
cancer.
It's a shame.
Yeah, same
And
cancer.
young men, too.
Yeah, the Risa husband is 20 years
Yeah.
old. The Jing is husband is 60.
How old?
60 years old.
She was 60.
Yeah.
And they had the same kind of cancer?
Yeah, same.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So anyway, but they've rebuilt their lives, and they've come back. And as far as your parents go, your parents have medical issues. And since you started your YouTube channel, and your other sisters have always worked, Jing has worked in
Yeah.
some capacity or another. She used to work in a food court
Yes.
or a food stand.
Yeah.
And Riza has done different jobs. And you guys have always kind of under the radar been throwing money at your parents when
Yeah.
they need it.
Yeah.
And then whenever there's been an occasion for me to get together with your parents, I'll give them money.
Yeah.
And once in a while, you'll say, "I need to go to the bank," because you've got your own bank.
Yeah.
And you'll say, "I need to go get money." And I go, "Why?" And you'll say, "Because my father,
Yeah.
this or that or the other." And there's been times where I said, "Okay, fine," because right now it's our money anyway.
Yeah.
But I've also said, "I've got it in my wallet, just take it."
Yeah.
And then there's these things like your braces. You're
Yes.
really, really funny about stuff like that. Like you wanted braces, and I
Yeah.
said, "Okay." And I said, "I'll pay for it." And you said, "No, I'll pay for it." And even though I know it's still our money, it's in your head that if you go to BDO, it's your money because you earned it. And so you make your payment every month
Yeah.
on your braces,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I would like to Oh, that is my from my work, hard work.
She takes pride in it, is what
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yes.
And so I think May's a bit of a unicorn when it comes to that. And we know extreme examples of other women that are just like you. They don't ever ask for a thing.
No.
We have a very dear friend who has a really sweet girl,
Yeah.
and she's super scared to even asking for 20 pesos. She's really mindful. She's like you. She's like a clone. I'm not going to name any names here,
Okay.
but he's like, boy, you know, my girl's just like your wife. She's really, really conscious of the wallet, and she doesn't want to abuse the privilege, and she just wants to be with me.
Yeah.
And then we know the other end of the spectrum, where they're like black holes. These women can't get enough money.
Yeah.
They need more, 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 more. So I'll give my take on where I think it's okay to give an allowance, or a better word might be a stipend, every month. And that's the situation where if May was working at a job, and whatever it might be, but let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, that she was making 10,000 pesos a month, working at the bank, or working here, or working there, or as a caterer, doesn't matter. And I told her to quit.
Yeah.
And before I get ahead of myself, out of that 10,000 pesos that she earned every month, she gave 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever the amount is to her parents religiously every month, because that's the culture out here, is
Yeah.
to take care of the elders. And if I was to tell her, hey, you don't need to work anymore. I want you and me to travel. I want you and me to spend time together. I don't want you away. I don't want you working so hard. I hate to see it. Well, I better be committed to replacing that 10,000, because you have no way of making it. Forget YouTube for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's just say that you're just going to be the housewife or the girlfriend.
Okay.
You're not going to work anymore. And you used to give your parents money, and they were relying on that for food and medicine and other incidentals. Then I would feel it to be an obligation. And I know guys that do just that. It's part of their budget. A good friend of mine, 15,000 a month is set aside for his girlfriend, or now it's his wife's parents, because that's what she was giving them before. And he told her just what I said. Stop working, hang out with me, relax. You're not getting any younger. You don't need to work anymore. And he's going to continue that. So I think that that's healthy. What else? We talked about allowances. We talked about supporting the parents.
Yeah.
I just got a hate email from a guy that was saying that if we did what I just talked about, which was give money to the parents, that they will use you and abuse you, and it's a terrible idea, and don't do it. And I get the feeling that this guy's been there and done that and gotten burned. And I'm very sorry that he did. Why he felt so compelled that he had to write me an email about this topic, I don't know, but I get a number of those a month anyway. So I'd be curious as to what your opinion is on this. I think it's logical that if you're taking away from someone's income that was used to receiving it, there's Social Security out here if you hit a certain age. There's a little bit of stuff that you can get for free, but it's a long, drawn-out process in order to acquire it or qualify for it. So most of the parents out here, I shouldn't say most, but I'll say a lot of parents, elderly people, do rely on their children for some kind of work or for some kind of money. There's a lot of what's called OFWs, overseas foreign workers, where they can only earn 5,000 here, but they can earn 10,000 in America or Kuwait or wherever they go. And God love them, they just send the money home to the parents or their siblings. And that's just part of the drill. It's propping up those that can no longer help themselves. Your father's diabetic.
Yeah.
He needs medicine. And we've all agreed throughout the family, Ray and everybody else that's involved,
My brother living in the mountain.
Your brother living in the mountain?
Yes.
He's pretty much helpless.
Yes, because
So,
he don't know how to read, I don't know how to write.
No, he's not even functional. He's illiterate, and he
Yeah.
has a drinking issue, and we don't give him a lot of money.
No.
We give him enough for rice, because we know that if we were to send him 10,000 pesos,
Yeah.
he'd just drink it. It
Yes.
would probably kill him.
Yes.
You know, so that's throwing money at a problem isn't always the solution. And so we still don't ignore him. He gets a bag of rice here and there.
Yeah.
And when we see him, we make sure that if he's invited to all the gatherings,
Yeah.
and he gets to eat. And
Yeah.
when your parents and your family gets together, we always order extra so they can take some home.
Yeah.
You know? One time your mother tried to pour water into a bag, remember?
The
It was filtered
chicken
water.
soup. Yeah.
It was actual drinking water. She's walking around trying to pour it into a bag to take it home. So, that woman knows how to save.
Because my parents told me, it's very expensive. Why you not take out?
You know what, man? It's all a matter of perspective. I would never have thought of that, but to her, she's thinking, hey, filtered water, that costs money. So I'm going to take her with me. Anyway, that's kind of it. I don't give her an allowance. She earns her own money.
Yeah.
But if she ever has, since my income is larger than hers, if there ever is a catastrophe, I'm more than happy to step up to the plate and take care of it if it's within my means. I would never do anything that would devastate me, because once I get devastated, I can't help you or anybody else. So if it's within my means, I will take care of it. I think that's the right thing to do. I don't understand why. Well, I understand it, but the unfortunate situations that I see is guys come over here and they get involved real quick with somebody, and they take on their responsibilities. In many cases, they'll take on their kids, which is a very noble thing to do, but they go overboard with it. They start buying the kids motorcycles.
Yeah.
They start buying, I mean, it's okay to pay for a private school. I mean, that's towards their future. I agree with that. It's okay to give them a ride. It's okay to help them with their school uniforms.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of gratitude from that. But I think a lot of guys, I've watched them go broke, just trying to, I don't know what, they're just trying to impress somebody with their wallet, and it's just, I don't know, it just, it befuddles me. I think guys get over here and they like that dopamine hit of being the big shot. You know, they're large and in charge. Everybody's admiring them. Everybody's telling them what a great guy they are, until it's like Vegas. They love you in the casino until you run out of money.
Getting broke?
And then they don't want to know you. You can't even get a drink ticket out of them. So anyway, that's our little video. You know, comments are always welcome. I know you're going to make them. And what do you think? Do you think that allowances are something that should be given? Do you agree with me that if you're taking away from one that's been counted on, that you should replace it? That's your obligation to do so. I think that you should if it works in your budget. I think it's something that you should take as a consideration. I think every guy that comes over here on a fixed income needs to take a look at the income and the outgo. And I've always tried to keep the outgo under the income. And we've been squirreling away money for 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's paid off.
Yeah.
Because now we've accumulated enough that we can move forward to bigger and better things, like build a house and buy some land and try to work towards your future.
Yeah.
And your future is your parents' future. Because if I'm gone and you're set up, then you can continue to take care of them. And everything just keeps evolving, I think, in a positive direction forward. And that's it. We won't belabor it anymore. You got any final words here? You got any?
For me, if you have a wife it's nice the wife is, if they get the money, the wallet, tell the husband, hey, I get your money, your wallet, for respect.
That's true. That's a
Yeah.
very, very good point.
Yeah.
Is like
Because,
my wallet's sitting over there.
yes.
And it's got money in it. And we have known people to have slipped out a few dollars. A few ladies have slipped out a few dollars without saying anything.
Yeah.
And that's usually the dating stage. But every time you've taken money out of my wallet, you've
Yeah.
asked.
I tell first with
You say first, hey, I need to take this. Like
I buy-
today.
yeah.
Today you're going to the beauty shop.
Yeah.
And you said it's 1,000 pesos or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yes.
And she let me know. She said,
Yeah.
can I have 1,000 pesos?
Yeah.
And I said, sure. But that's just respect.
Yeah.
It's just letting me know because this is budget month. We got to
Yes.
go in the next day or two and
Yeah.
transfer our money.
Yeah.
And we're down to our last few pesos. But anyway,
Yeah.
that gives me fair warning. And I can tell her, no, we got to go to the bank first or whatever.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. That's a good one.
It's good for you have a respect to your husband or wife.
Yeah, it
very
is a sign of
important.
respect.
Yes.
Yeah, and being careful with the dollar, respecting the dollar is respecting the man and vice versa. So, okay, well, that's our speech or our video or whatever you want to call it. That's our take on showing me the money. You know, where are we going to go today and how much do I get or not get? All right, we'll see you kids in the next video.
Bye-bye.